What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Two Tides Brewing Company, and they are out of Savannah, Georgia, and this is their Worms Don't Have Bones. So this is a sour ale with blood orange, grape, strawberry, cherry, and sour gummy worms. It comes in at 7% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. And this can is approximately 2 months old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Wes, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Wes sent my way. And he sent me 5 beers in total, 4 of which were from Two Tides, and this is one of them. So this was released, I believe, for Halloween, which makes sense based on the label and the ingredients, you know, sour gummy worms. Now, I'm probably going to be biased towards this beer because I love sour gummy candy, period. They do say on their website, on the Instagram and Untappd that, you know, they blend this one with the blood orange, the grape, the strawberry, they say tart cherry, and then they condition this on the Trolli brand of their, I think they're called Sour Crawlers. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm looking forward to it. I just hope, and a lot of times, at least recently, I haven't really commented on like the sour or tartness of a sour beer. Like I've noticed like maybe a couple times in the last half dozen reviews, I just forget. And then I'm watching back, I'm like, how did you not say anything about the sour or tartness? Based on the ingredients in this one, the fact that the base of this sour ale better have a sour or tartness that is, you know, definitely noticeable and that, you know, I'll be able to pick up on. Is that rising out of the can at all? No, but it seems very carbonated. So we'll give it a pour here. I did roll it when off camera just to make sure everything was all together, but I am specifically using these big oversized stemless wine glasses because I feel for, you know, sour beers where, you know, a lot of the sediment and everything at the bottom settles, you pour it in, you'll get everything. Where if you just, I mean, I've had reviews specifically Frost Liquid Lollipop the first time they started like allowing you to get crowlers of it at the brewery. Remember I got a crowler of that and I poured it without, you know, actually doing a proper like roll or having it upside down for a while. And the second half of the crowler was way different than the first. It was murky, it was unbelievable in terms of thickness and stuff. And it was just, so ever since then, I've been trying to do a better job to make sure like, you know, I get all of it in here or at least most of it. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like a heavily fruited sour. It has that purple magenta kind of look to it. Hold it up to light. Yep, murky turbid, can't see through it. Has the pectin that's coating the side of the glass. Has about a third of a finger of this, I'd say, pink colored head. Is, you know, I could swirl one back up to about a half finger, maybe even a full finger of head, and then it just kind of dissipates right back down. So yeah, it kind of plays the role what you're kind of looking for, and it's very carbonated too. I could just tell, you know, when I cracked it open, it was almost had like a soda pop carbonation. Then I poured it, same thing. Let's get a nose. That smells dynamite. Wow, that actually, hang on. There are 2 flavors trying to fight for supremacy. After that first whiff, I was like, smells awesome. Then I went back, I'm like, wait, what's going on? The blood orange, to me, is kind of trying to fight that tart cherry, like they're going head to head. I don't know who's winning right now, but it's kind of a weird combination with those two. I 100% get the sour gummy worms. Like, I can just picture the crystallized sugar on the gummy worms, and then when you bite into it, it's sweet, and then all of a sudden super sour. Like everything in the nose is indicating definitely sour gummy worms. This is like again a perfect Halloween beer. You're, you know, conditioning on candy. You have all those different fruits that, you know, make up probably the flavor profile of a sour gummy worm. The grape is there, and it's more like a Concord grape. I don't know exactly what kind of grapes they're using here, but Concord would make sense. Strawberry is not getting picked up on. It just has, it's blood orange and tart cherry going head to head, underlying grape, Concord grape, and then I do get the essence of what the sour gummy worms are. 7%, you really can't tell it. It smells like it's going to be sweet, but also have a nice firm kind of tartness, maybe even into a sour realm. Seems like it's gonna be super carbonated. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Wes. This is the second beer I'm reviewing from them in the same day. You'll see them probably a week or 2 apart. The first one I reviewed earlier today was their Be Here Now or Be Nowhere Later, which was a dark lager, fantastic dark lager. And I'm coming back a couple hours with this one, and hopefully it's just as good. Cheers, everyone. That is awesome. And that is sour. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is fantastic. So You know, I sing the praises of Two Tides a lot for good reason, in my opinion. They do fantastic stuff, especially when it comes to the new age styles, your hazies, your heavily fruited sours, your pastry beers. But as I said earlier, that dark lager, just a 5% dark lager, fantastic. This, stylistically, for a heavily fruited sour, you know, a fun kind of Halloween release, this is fantastic, right in the wheelhouse of what I thought and was hoping it was going to be. It is so damn good. Body. Here's what wins me over on this one, and it might not be what you're thinking. The body, while having a nice kind of, I won't say full-bodied, but having a nice viscosity to it, you know, that lets you know that it has some heft behind it. This is like higher side of medium, lower side of full. It's thinner than a lot of the heavily fruited sours, which I've noticed from Two Tides recently, and I think it works. The days of me drinking those super gloopy, just incredibly smoothie-like sours where like you're almost chewing it and it's just like coating the palate. It's like you're actually drinking a fruit smoothie. Those become a little bit too much for me when I get about halfway through the can and I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm not gonna have any problem with this. The body is really lighter than a lot of those and it works in its favor. But at the same time, the mouthfeel has a nice moderate carbonation. It's effervescent. It's not quite as spritzy as a soda pop or a seltzer, even though it looked like it, but it has more carbonation than a lot of these heavily fruited sours have. So the body and mouthfeel are great for what I'm personally looking for. If you're somebody who likes the gloopy smoothie sours that, you know, are super smooth and creamy on the palate with a mild carbonation and are super thick and viscous and you're chewing it, probably body mouthfeel, you'd be a little bit disappointed with this, just being honest. But I am not. The taste, it's pretty simplistic. It's kind of like I'm drinking a fruit punch. Not specifically like Hawaiian punch or anything, but just like a fruit punch. Like someone did their own homemade fruit punch and they put a bunch of different fruits in here. I'm not specifically getting the blood orange, like taste-wise, but I'm getting that Concord grape. The berry is coming through, strawberry. I maybe even see raspberry. And that tart cherry is very noticeable. I drink a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but you know, occasionally from time to time, I'll pick up a bottle of tart cherry juice and sip on it throughout the week if I feel like, you know, I want something. If you know, if like my bones are hurting or anything, it's good for inflammation. And I recognize that tart cherry character in here. It's not too big, but it's there. So those, again, grape, strawberry, tart cherry, the blood orange, despite being the first fruit listed on the label, it's getting kind of lost. And I think blood orange is somewhat of a delicate, you know, oranges as a whole, I feel like kind of get thrown to the wayside when you get fruitier, more sweet and like just, you know, like a Concord grape. Like if you get the puree versus like blood orange puree, I think the Concord grape would probably dominate it. And that's kind of what's happening here. I'm not saying it's Concord grape, it just tastes like it. Anyway, on the finish is where I get the sour gummy worms. It has a distinct sour gummy kind of feeling to it. I wouldn't be able to say, oh, this is Trolli Sour Crawlers or anything. Like I can't specify. It just has like a generic, basically sour gummy something candy-wise. Like that's what it has on the finish. This finishes with a pretty firm sourness. Like it was tart at the forefront with that, like a big sweetness, and on the finish, I actually got the puckering and the sides of the jaw and like the back of the jaw. Like, ooh, now my palate is kind of acclimated the last couple sips, but it's still quite sour. So a beautiful mixture of sweetness and sour, and this has almost no bitterness, but you don't expect it. The lingering kind of candy-esque flavor. Again, if you release this beer in the middle of spring or summer or something, sure, it'll be refreshing, and I'm sure people still enjoy it, but knowing that this was a Halloween release, I think adds to the allure of this beer for me personally. Like, if this was something they would release every single Halloween, I would get behind it. Like, I'd probably buy a 4-pack of it just to maybe share with friends and have one on Halloween or something. Like, it's a fun beer. What I appreciate about this one is it does feel very authentic. They are using the fruit purees and then the gummy worms, but it doesn't feel too gimmicky. And a lot of these beers do feel gimmicky. This doesn't, despite the fact that it technically is. 7%, there is no warming in my chest. There's nothing in my chest, nothing in the stomach, no astringent on the palate. This is scary drinkable 7%. Listen, if you guys follow the channel, and you have for many years now, you knew I used to review a bunch of heavily fruited / smoothie / slushy sour ales, especially when they first popped off. It was something new, different. Over the years, My palate is kind of aligned more with dry beers, more with bitter beers. And the days of me drinking an entire 16 fluid ounce can of this or something like this are gone. And you know that I don't review a lot of like sour, heavily fruited sour beers as much anymore, maybe once per month, maybe twice at the most. But I do appreciate Wes throwing me a couple from Two Tides, especially when they're this good. This is awesome treat. And it's a 12 fluid ounce can, which I wish more breweries would put these in 12 fluid ounce cans, because I will be able to finish the rest of this. And even if this was a 16 fluid ounce can, this one specifically, I'd be able to finish it. But a lot of them, I get like 8 ounces, 10 ounces in. I'm like, there's no way I'm drinking another 6 to 8 ounces. I'm just not. And I end up drain pouring it. And a lot of these are expensive, so I waste money, and it's just stupid. So anyway, to sum this one up, absolutely fantastic beer. It's sweet, it's sour. There is a slight acidic feel on the back of the palate with that, that sour gummy candy plus just the base beer and whatnot, but it's not too big. Doesn't feel like I'm gonna get heartburn. The flavors are all here outside of the blood orange, getting kind of a little bit lost for me, but everything else hits. This is one of the better heavily fruited sours that I've had in a hot minute. This is absolutely delicious. And I was looking forward to that carrot cake cheesecake sour that they did recently that I reviewed. Like, you'll probably see this like maybe a month after that, or maybe even like 6 weeks after that. I'm most likely to be posting this review in January, just so FYI. But this is one of the better heavily fruited sours that I've had this year from a balance perspective and just a taste perspective. So Worms Don't Have Bones from Two Tides. I'm going to go straight on 4.75. Yeah, that high. This is delicious. And again, if you watch this and you like these styles, like, check out Two Tides. They do great stuff. And this is the type of quality I expect from them in terms of these beers. And, a lot of people, nowadays with these beers, and we've had the whole conversation on my channel so many times before, it's not worth really talking about, but like the whole beer verse, is this beer verse? Is this, a hard seltzer, whatever the case may be? I don't really care anymore, but that's a train outside. I was like, what the hell is that noise? But for me, with this style specifically, I've lost my train of thought. Let's just go to price point availability, and I'll come back to that if I remember. Price point availability, I think Wes said these are like $17 4-pack. Ever since they switched to the 12 fluid ounce cans, I have no issues with that. Most of these heavily fruited sours are like $22 to $25 a 4-pack, 16 fluid ounce cans. No matter where you get them here in the Buffalo, New York area, Mortalis, Fifth Frame, Froth, any one of them, you're paying a premium. So $17 4-pack, that's not bad. If it is a little bit more expensive, it is what it is. I'd still pay up to like $5 for that can to try it. And then availability is Two Tides, as I always say, probably in the state of Georgia, but like outside of that, I don't know if they get on Tavor. I have no idea outside of that. So you may or may not see them if you're in the South, but if you're ever in the Savannah area, check out their brewery and check out their beer. I think you would like it. If you like this one and you've had it, post in the comment section, let me know what you think about it. If you didn't like it, let me know as well. Would you try this one out, especially around Halloween? I think this is a great Halloween beer. What was I coming back to? I forgot. I'm getting old. I forget. Thanks to Wes for all the beers. It's been a lot of fun. I only have one more left from that package. It's their Parallels, which is a huge brandy barrel aged imperial stout. You might actually see that before this. We might be doing a theme month. In January with all imperial beers, and if so, that will be a part of it. But I don't know if I'll post this before or after. Doesn't really matter, no. But man, what the hell was I trying to say about, like, we have the discussion about whether or not these are beer, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. I just think this style, to me, it doesn't. There's not an allure to it anymore. Like, I'm not drawn to the style anymore just because I've had so many. But when I see something cool and unique, I like trying them out. It's, to me, can you balance everything in a beer like this? The sourness, the sweetness. Is there something where, like, hey, I can drink this entire can? And I think Two Tides does a better job than most at being able to balance the beers out and not just being a fun beer you want to share with 2 or 3 other people. I could drink an entire can of this. I still prefer probably to share this with somebody, but I mean, I'm enjoying drinking this. And I think that's at the end of the day, it's lost on people if you enjoy the beer. That's all that should matter. I don't really care if you don't think this is a beer, or you think this is a beer, or if you think certain styles are gimmicky or whatever. Let people drink what they want. That's what comes out to. Let people drink what they want. I'll never tell you shouldn't drink any beer ever if you enjoy it. Plain and simple. So I'm going to shut this one down. Like I said, one more from them. We'll see when I post it. But once again, huge thanks to Wes. And I'm going to shut this one down. Appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.